Hey, you guys. Okay, here we go. We're going to get started. This is our Q&A for those who are interested in taking the yoga teacher training through Live Free Trainings. I am here with three of the most amazing human beings in my life, and I'm so excited. Everybody that you see here is involved with Live Free Trainings somehow. So I'm going to do a quick introduction of each person, and then we have had you guys emailing in all of your hot burning questions. And so I have a little list here of the questions that you've given me, and then we'll go forward. And if it doesn't answer any of your questions, you can reach out to me, no problem. It's Jonni, JONNIE, at Live Free Trainings with an S at the end.com, and I'll respond to your question. So I want to introduce everybody. First, I will go to, she is to my left. Stephanie Lawrence is with us out of Texas. Stephanie helps us with all things newsletters and marketing. We have Miss Carrie Payne out of Ohio. She helps us with all things blogs, content creation for social media. She teaches workshops. She's a yoga teacher. She's an embodied processing genius. Can I say that about you? Yeah, I can say that about you. I've just given myself permission. And then we have Miss Jen Brunner. She's out of Montana. And she runs, and I want to mention Carrie also runs Rooted to Rise. And then Jen runs Keep Her Wild, as well as teaching yoga in Montana. She has a little girl and lives in a teensy little one stoplight town there. And she helps to run our teacher training. She helps with social media and she helps with workshops. And then I am the founder of Live Free Trainings. And so I teach a lot of the workshops. I wrote and helped to teach the yoga teacher training. Primarily, I'm the anatomy and physiology and asana teacher. And then I share lead training titles with Jen and Carrie, who teach the webinars that you'll be a part of. So the Zoom calls that you'll be a part of on Tuesdays. So our program, I'm just going to give a brief overview. So our program is 10, sometimes 11 weeks, depending on if we're running a hybrid program, on right now scheduled for Tuesday evenings. My dog Peaches is adding some commentary, so I hope she's not being distracting. But we run on Tuesday evenings for about 2 to 3 hours on those calls. I say about because we love to leave just a lot of space just for whatever needs to come up, conversation, questions, practice to go over. We try to make those calls so that in the latest time zone, it still ends at a decent hour. So our schedule is all on the site, livefreetrainings.com. And those are the fullness of the classes. So those are the things that if you do the all online only program, those classes are attended. They are recorded. We do leave a lot of flexibility for you to be there because we do understand that pretty much everybody who goes through this is either a parent or a full-time working professional. So we totally get it. But we do need you to be there as often as you can with your camera on as often as it can be, right? We also have a hybrid version where if you are in certain cities, and those are on the site, you can attend the online portions and attend lectures on the Tuesday evenings, and you can go to in-person classes. So we have an in-person version in Minneapolis, where I am. We're potentially going to have other locations as well. Again, you can check the site for those as well. And then those you attend in person based on that trainer's kind of availability and schedule. So that you'll want to check the site for. But like I said, there's a lot of flexibility because we understand that pretty much everybody who goes through this probably either works full time or has kids and just maybe has a trip scheduled or things like that. So that was kind of the first question that I got emailed is the schedule flexible? I have a honeymoon, which congratulations. I have a honeymoon that I'm attending in the very beginning of the program. Can I miss that class? You absolutely can. The content is recorded. You can make it up. A lot of your content that you do is done outside of those live classes. Things like yoga classes you have to attend, anatomy and physiology lectures that are pre-recorded, chakra and ethics content that's pre-recorded. We try to keep our live classroom time when we're together like this to content that is experiential or takes what you've learned in the classroom and helps you to apply it with your trainer in the room. So that was our first question. Is the schedule flexible? You bet your sweet Bippy it is. Now, I'm going to have everybody kind of jump in on this conversation so that it's not just me doing all the talking. So, Jen, I'm going to lob this next question to you. Someone asked, I'm not sure if I'll ever teach a class. Should I still go through a yoga teacher training? What would be your answer to that?
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, 100% yes. Which, I mean, even though it's called yoga teacher training, it really starts with you, whether you just love yoga or you're falling in love with yoga. The yoga is the vehicle, and the teacher training is kind of secondary, right? And so the content, especially with Carrie as our embodied processing genius, and just the different components of it, it just carries so much value for you. So when you're signing up for yoga teacher training, I say you're thinking of you first and foremost. We're not thinking about any potential students in any way. We can't even know. Like we could say, I'm never going to teach yoga, but who knows what life's going to present down the road. So you're starting with you, you're giving yourself this gift, this information, this portal for healing, and then you're
Oh,
equipped in
portal for
case,
healing. Oh, I love that.
yeah, and then you're just equipped in case who knows what pops up on your path down the road. So
Yeah.
if you have even an inkling that there's something within this training that you're drawn to, like I feel like your journey is aligned with benefiting from this.
Yeah. Well, and I would add that if you're feeling the pull, like it's for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I always teach in my classes is, well, in the yoga teacher training, I always say, you're going to become a good yoga teacher from your own personal practice, not from memorizing the anatomy and physiology, not from memorizing the asana, which is the postures, not from memorizing how you should move your body, but from you getting on your mat. And so, more you get on your mat through the yoga teacher training program, it makes you a better teacher. But also, when the other thing I say in my live yoga teacher training classes is if we're all doing the same movement at the same time, that's group fitness. That's not yoga. You are your own teacher. Your breath is your own teacher. So when you become a teacher, you're becoming a teacher to self lead first and then lead others, right? And then what comes from that class, like I was telling these guys before this call started, I went to the best class today. And the reason she's one of my favorite instructors at this local studio is because she does her yoga. Like you can see her accessing the sensation in her body as she's telling me what to do. So it's not this disconnected directive, it is this experience she's having and that she's sharing with me. That makes her a really good teacher, if that makes sense. So thank
Mhm.
you, Jen.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, Carrie, I'm lobbing the
Actually, Johnny, would it be okay if I just added something to what
yes,
Jen shared? Okay, great.
yes.
See, and that's the beautiful thing about this community is interruptions are welcomed. And I just love that. And I'm someone who is scheduled to participate in training for the first time. And I can tell you zero intention of teaching any sort of formal yoga class. But I'm worth the gift of healing. I'm worth stepping into this
Oh,
portal that Jen is talking about. I'm worth it. Yeah, you guys are hitting it too for me. It's about I'm worth teaching myself on this journey of healing within the space of it's this space that we're creating through this authentic community. And I think this is a very relatable experience, but in my past, I've been in community settings where we all came together because we had these shared beliefs, but the expectation was that those beliefs would be cultivated and bloom exactly the same way from person to person. And so in this space, you can have a sigh of relief here with the authenticity that is welcomed here. We show up unapologetically unmasked, doubting, asking questions. It's totally okay. And in the beauty of this wrestling, we get to witness each other blossoming into who we were always designed to be. So I would say if you're feeling that pull and you're yearning for that kind of community, come and join us. You're welcome here and we would love to have you.
Stephanie, you just brought
Especially if you're quirky and messy too.
yes,
But for those of us.
because that's all of us
Yes.
here. Oh, show. Stephanie, you totally brought tears to my eyes. And I'm going to try to say this without crying because I hate cry talking. But to start that sentence with, I'm worth it. Like, I want that for everybody. Like, I met with somebody last night, another couple we went out to dinner with, and they just mentioned that some relational things they were experiencing. And I said, my relational things with my husband started to clear up when I fell in love with me. And then I could receive love from him and I could give love to him back freely without having to grasp anything, grasp for my identity, grasp for safety, grasp for any of that. Right. So just you being able to say the words, I'm worth it. Like, oh, that's what I want. I want people to be able to say that. And I really hope that Live Free trainings and the content that we teach and put out there helps people to learn to say that about themselves because yes, you so freaking are worth it. Like, love that.
Well, and I know we
Thank
have
you.
to move on, but one other thing that I love that she just said was that she's worth teaching herself. And I think that like a lot of times we'll go into things and we'll be like, well, I can invest in this because I can give it to others. And we're never thinking about ourselves. We're never giving to ourselves, especially as women. It's so easy to give to others, but to receive. And so this is really something like you're teaching yourself first and foremost, and you're receiving something. And if you decide to share that, it's because you have this overflow that you want to put out into the world.
Yeah. So good. So good. Carrie, you're up next because this is your bag, babe. How does yoga lead to healing trauma in us?
Well, I first want to even talk about the previous question because what led me to take yoga teachers training was the fact that I did have a lot of trauma in my life. And showing up to that first class that I went to of yours, Johnny, I had been through years of learning, years of certifications, talk therapy. I had tried so many different modalities in my healing, and I definitely was receiving a lot of healing. But when I first experienced my body releasing trauma, it was in your class. And
Mm,
that's when I knew I wanted to go through yoga teacher training because I had spent so many years filling my mind with all this education, which is really good, but my body was still storing so much trauma. And I did not know, I had no clue. I did not know that my body was holding that. It was a
yeah.
release. And it was the safety that you brought into that class. You gave us a safe space. And like you were saying, that teacher that you love, the class that you went to, like she gives you the time to do the breath, to do the
Mm,
movement, to really feel it, right? And integrate what is going on inside of your body. And so trauma directly affects our autonomic nervous system, right? And yoga completely helps us release things by our breath, the movement, the rhythm, um, even being in an atmosphere where it's safe, right? It's teaching us
oh,
that our body is safe. Our body is
mhm,
safe to hold this pose and feel uncomfortable for a moment, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
then breathe through it because we're all going to have uncomfortable moments. You can't live in this world without trauma. You
mhm.
just cannot. But yoga is such a beautiful tool and it absolutely transformed my healing process. And I went into your class thinking I was never going to teach a class. I just taught
And here
my
you are.
first time. But I'm so passionate about trauma healing because it has done, I mean, my life has just done such a complete turnaround, and you see the ripple effect of it through your children, your family,
Yeah.
friendships,
Hmm.
relationships, your job. And so absolutely yoga is like I think it was the most transformational part of my healing journey. So it
Mm,
absolutely is directly correlated to helping us heal our trauma.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and it ties into that whole thing. What if I never teach a class? Because you likely didn't get a choice in your trauma. That's what's traumatic about it, right? You
Yes.
didn't use your free will to choose the thing, right? And in a yoga pose, in that discomfort, in the sensation, you get to choose and you get to learn to lead yourself in a way that was something, discomfort was imposed upon you. You get to take the reins back and you get to have that choice. So
absolutely. It's a bottom-up approach.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the next question is, do we teach trauma sensitivity? So yes, we teach, yes, it helps to heal from your own trauma. And yes, baked into the program by nature of the fact of what Carrie does and the multiple trauma sensitivity and touch and trauma trainings I've written and executed, yes, it is baked into the program. So a lot of people will go through a trauma training after becoming a yoga teacher, and we bake it into the program, which I don't want to toot my own horn, but beep beep. One of the things that I think is really important, and as the founder of Live Free, I was able to implement into this, is that inclusivity matters and financial inclusivity matters. Because the original yoga teacher training that I went through, if I had to pay for it, I would not have been able to go through it. But I was able to teach anatomy and physiology in exchange for going through the program, because otherwise it was over $2,000. And at the time, I would not have been able to pay for that. And so I keep the training cost very low for that reason. So it's one, lower than any other yoga teacher training that I've taken or been a part of, which I've been a part of or taken 5 different 200-hour teacher trainings between 200 and 300 hours, right? But the trauma sensitivity and the touch aspects are baked into that tuition, because this healing information needs to be out there available to everyone, not elite people who can pay for it and afford to do the certification. So I just want to say that, because we also have payment plans, because in my opinion, somatic trauma healing is the thing that's missing from talk therapy. And so if you don't have a talk therapist who's trained in it, then learning self leadership part and parcel as a bolster to your talk therapy is helpful. Carrie, please. I saw you unmuted. Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking, there's so much research out there now about how our body stores our trauma and holds on to it. And as you're talking, I'm just thinking, like, it's so crucial. And talk therapy definitely has its place. But like I said, I had done talk therapy for years and years. But it wasn't until I went to your class and I literally felt safe within my body, and my body just released. It was uncontrollable tears and crying, and I didn't even understand it when it happened. And that's why I knew I needed to take that training. It wasn't because I wanted to teach a class. It was because I wanted to heal completely. I wanted to feel the release.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So important.
And part of that is the next question. So will I learn to lead others in meditation? Absolutely. You will be doing meditation as part of the program, and then we will teach you how to facilitate a meditation experience for others, be it breath work, just meditation, body scans. All of that stuff are part of the program. Carrie, I'm going to have you take this one since you went through the most recently. Will I learn to modify for others who can't do certain poses? So if you can't do it as the pose says, will you learn modifications? What do you have to say for that?
Oh, absolutely. Because it's not about the pose. And like you're saying, everyone is welcome. I don't care if you can do any of the poses. It's literally being able to be in your body and feel safe. And it leads you into that. You might come to a class and not feel completely safe at first, but we really help you become in tune with the sensations that you're feeling and help you release through breath and all the other things, the meditation, right? And even the rhythm of the other participants in your class, because there is such a thing as co-regulation. And so it's a beautiful thing when you get a group of people. We're all in different places in life. We're never in the same place, but I can guarantee you every single person in that room has experienced trauma. I mean, how can we not in the world that we live in?
We're alive.
And
so
yes, you can absolutely
dramatic.
go in there and you can sit in child's pose the entire class and you will absolutely receive something so beautiful if you allow your body to listen to itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all, like, Jen has years of experience. I have years of experience. Carrie has her training with embodied processing. And then many of you may or may not know, I was an anatomy and physiology professor and a body worker for 24 years. So I very much approach yoga from a body worker standpoint. So I know, I'm a knee specialist, a low back specialist, and a shoulder specialist with ACE. And so we really teach you how to use the bolsters, use the blocks so that you can have success in your practice. And success is not being able to do the most advanced version of the pose. That's not what success is. And so
I
that's kind
loved
of,
that about your teacher training because
thank
it
you.
made me feel so comfortable because I can't remember what pose it was, Johnny, but I specifically remember one of the classes you were like, I won't do that pose. I hate that pose. It's uncomfortable. My body doesn't like
Chair.
it anymore. Right. And
Hey,
so
chair.
you were so just gracious and made me feel so comfortable when I was taking that class that I don't have to do these hard poses. It's not
right.
like I'm going to be doing a headstand in 3 weeks because
Yeah.
I'm taking this
Yep.
training, right?
Yep.
So it was wonderful.
And there is a unique vulnerability when you do physical things with your body in a group. So it is natural to feel afraid and think, I'm going to have to move in front of everybody. You know what I mean? And so meeting yourself where you're at is a really important part of that because it is incredibly vulnerable to move your body. And then in yoga, we tend to wear clothing that's tight, not because we're showing off our body, but because we literally go upside down and you're sure to fall down, right? Like there's practical reasons we have a top knot and tight yoga pants. There is some practicality there, right? But it can make it very vulnerable. And so it's important to do that. So the last question that we were given was, do I have to take a test? So here's a beautiful thing. You don't have to physically take a test, but you do teach a little mini class to your trainers, right? And it'll have the components of a warm up, a cool down, standing postures, seated postures. We'll teach you how to put it together. We will build multiple classes together that you'll be able to take with you. So you'll have like 3 or 4 laid out classes with potential playlists, even if you want to take with you as soon as you graduate, that you'll be able to practice starting in, I think, week 6 up to week 10 or 11 is when we give you those, and we build them together within the class. So you'll have pre-made done things that you'll be able to practice for weeks to teach. But yes, you will teach a little class because even if you're going to self-lead and self-teach, we don't know what doors are going to open later for you. So to certify and to give you that certification, which is a Yoga Alliance approved school, you will do a little test out. So we don't want this to be too long. So we're going to get going now. You guys want to add anything that was unsaid for anybody that might have a question?
I just want to say that even if you never teach or have an opportunity, it's so worth it, even if it's just for you. I think that's like the most important thing. Is that
and after what Stephanie said, especially if it's just for you.
especially, yes. And I also just have to say, because I mean, you're not tooting your horn all the way, but this isn't the only yoga teacher training I've ever been a part of. And I can just say that the value of this blows my mind. Like when you talk about what's baked into it, yes. But when I really think about it and I'm teaching and working through the curriculum, I'm like, this is crazy that you have written this curriculum that gives so much for such a low price. So
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's so important to me. Inclusivity is so important to me.
Yeah.
And that means financial too. So we hope you guys come through. We love you so much.
do
Come
it.
hang with us. Come hang with us. We love community. And we will see you hopefully in class. Mwah, mwah. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You can hit stop, Stephanie.